WJZ, we continue to track the alarming and continued spike in juvenile crime rates across the state and in the city of Baltimore, and has many people very concerned, and rightly so. Let's look at some of the latest data from the city state's attorney's office. Last year, 66 minors were arrested. That number more than doubled this year, with 163 arrests. All of these arrests were related to felony or firearm charges, again involving young people. So for some perspective, we are joined by the city state's attorney, Ivan Bates, which I really appreciate you taking time to come and be with us. I live in the city. People are concerned about this. First of all, why do you think? Why this huge jump in numbers this year?
Yeah, well, first of all, I want to say thank you so much for having me. You know, I think there's a couple things. One of the things we have to let young people know that there are consequences for their actions and they have to be held accountable. But I think we also have to look at what's going on because so many of our young people, they're truant, they're just not going to school. And going to school is super important in terms of that baseline. Now that we understand what that part of the problem, part of the issue is, we also have to, I think, unfortunately look at some of the previous policies of DJS. Under the law, there were certain things that they just were not doing, but the law changed November 1st, so I remain cautiously optimistic that there will be a change. The state's attorney's office and the police department, where we have a different seat at the table in terms of what's going to happen with young people. We have more of a checks and balances of what's going on with DJS. We're having more communication and dialogue of how to hold young people accountable. However, unfortunately, for all practical purposes, the genie's out of the bottle, and we have to now rein it back in to hold the young people accountable.
I think people think, well, are police arresting more? Are they being more vigilant? Or are there simply more young people out there who feel emboldened to take the law into their own hands and carjack and rob and do the kinds of crimes we report on almost every day, it feels like?
Yeah, I know, unfortunately it does. But I think the police are doing their job. They're making more arrests, unfortunately, because more young people, I think, are even participating in those types of activities. I think in the past, and a lot of people don't understand the way the criminal justice system works for juveniles. The adult system works like this. If there's an armed robbery, the police arrest an individual, take them in Baltimore City to central booking. My office is involved in the charging. Then we will go ahead and see a commissioner, and that individual will see a judge, and they'll either be held or released. A juvenile for the same armed robbery, that officer doesn't come to us, they go to DJS. And DJS, Department of Juvenile Services, they make the decision on what to do with that young person. They could tell the officer to take that young person home. They could tell the young person's parents to come get them, place them on electronic monitoring, or not place them on anything at all. Or the last and most restrictive means is detention. So they're looked at, the situations and systems are different. The juvenile system is about rehabilitation. So the police and the state's attorney, neither one of us have a seat at the table to make those initial decisions.
Well, we want them to be rehabilitated.
Yes.
But we also want to be safe as people who live in the city. All right, this conversation, we could do the whole half hour, but unfortunately we can't. I do thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
I appreciate it very much.
Thank you.